Good morning, guys. Over the last few weeks, we've been extremely busy here, overwhelmingly busy. We put in about 200 feet of water line to our new processing area and to water our chickens. Put in this frost-free hydrant. We've got power stubbed up for our processing area. Kind of going to be digging the footing soon. But today, we're just going to kind of get caught up on some day-to-day stuff. I've got about 100 strawberry plants to get planted. I've got 2 apple trees that we picked up on Saturday that are bare root that need to go in the ground. My bees need tending to. I haven't been in them in several weeks. So today is just going to be a more relaxed pace of, be quiet, of doing things that need to be done around here. And hopefully it's an enjoyable video for you. Our strawberry patch is right up behind the beehives. Bees are pretty active today. It's warm. And last year, this kind of turned into a bit of a weed patch because as always, there's too much to do and not enough time. But I'm going to try weed barrier this time, putting that down, so hopefully I won't have to weed quite as much. Got some blueberry bushes on this end that are just starting to leaf out. These blueberries I put in, I think about 4 years ago. They were very small. They're starting to leaf out nicely. Probably need a little pruning and some attention and some weeding. Maybe a little more mulch around them too. Grass is really starting to grow. I'd like to get that mowed, but I don't think that's going to happen today. Even on our days off, there's too much to do to really ever get caught up. This is my original colony here, which I did splits from last year. I've got 2 others that I think are still doing okay. This one here is the first split that I did, which is very active and very large. Last time I had that open, it was full. The one on the end, this one here, was the last split that I did. They're still alive, but they're definitely not very high in population, so I need to get in there and see what they're doing too. Standing right in the way of their entrance right now, so I'm getting buzzed. This area here in back of the coop is going to be our new processing area. I kind of got it all string lines where the wall is going to go, the roof line. It's going to be open-sided. Got a big pile of gravel that's going to go in here, 3/4 inch stone, which is up on the hill near the excavator, which we borrowed from a family member. It's been great. Wouldn't have been able to dig that water line without it. The water line's 5 to 6 feet deep. It runs all the way from the coop up the back roadway all the way to the front of the greenhouse where it tees into the main water line that comes from our store. And separately I dug a power trench that's about 2 feet down off to one side and ran the power all the way out. That was not without its challenges. It's not something I do every day. Came up a little short on the wire, had to make a splice, but it'll be all good. We've got the splice, electrician recommended. I'm not an electrician by any means. I can do small amounts, but the big stuff I leave for him. Got this junction box where the splice will be. And yesterday I cleaned up a lot of this and raked it off with the York rake on my tractor. This weekend is Mother's Day weekend, which is the weekend when we officially open the greenhouse. We've got a lot of, we expect to sell a lot of these gorgeous baskets that we started quite a ways back. And if you follow the channel, you'll have seen us starting some of these. And there's previous videos as well, but they are thriving. It's been warm this year. Heather's really got it down in here as far as temps go. Everything is really kind of blowing up. Can't wait to open. Got the garden barn ready down at the store. Built the doors for that as well in the last few weeks. They're all installed so we can have a secure space. Vegetable starts are well underway. Got tomatoes and peppers and All sorts of herbs running down through here. More herbs. We're cramped on space. We probably could use another greenhouse even after the one that I built. More vegetable starts. We've got everything: spinach, eggplant. There's some flowers in here too that we started. Dill, lettuce, and of course all the annual flowers. Geraniums. We've been extremely busy, and that is putting it mildly, to the point where, you know, today is kind of a day where we need to take a break and get caught up on some other stuff, life stuff. We've been working 7 days a week for the last couple months. We've got plants everywhere, outside, inside. We've got to keep an eye on the weather, but petunias outside now, perennials down the side. Rhubarb, ferns. And going into the little greenhouse, try to keep this a little cooler. We've got spinach and kale, broccoli, cabbage, lots of flower starts, marigolds, calendula, tithonia. We've got some onions in the back there. This is kind of the overflow from the big greenhouse, and as you can see, it's pretty full, and I'm sure by the end of the day Heather's probably gonna pot up some more stuff that'll come out here. A little breezy today. You can hear the plastic kind of flapping around. But this greenhouse is working out beautifully. Got the fan that I installed. Got heat if we need it. With this fan, in conjunction with that vent, works beautifully. The air just pulls right through this, and it stays nice and cool even when it's hot outside. Starting to get all the dirt piles cleaned up, but there's still quite a bit around. I can't wait until I can get this all seeded back down and get everything cleaned up. We have intentions of putting a swale in the field just to divert water off, both from our processing area and runoff. So that'll be done here at some point too. Got a little bit of help with that. Heather's brother-in-law has been helping me out with a lot of stuff here as far as the excavator goes, and her dad even came down and ran the big excavator for a whole day to put the water line in, which we're really appreciative of. We've got the brooders at full capacity. We've got more chicks coming tomorrow. We just moved a batch out today in preparation for the ones coming tomorrow. We've got a small batch of layers in there as well, which we added on because we did lose some of our pullets when we first moved them out to the coop. We had a cold night and they all piled, and we lost quite a few. Brooder's kind of a mess, but it is full capacity in there. We've got some really cool birds in the brooder. There's 35, I think, that came in. I'm not sure how many we have at this point, but we've got some Polish in there, some frizzles, some really oddball stuff. We got a really good deal from the hatchery that we couldn't pass up. They're a little scared of the camera, but some wicked cool little birds. These Polish are pretty neat. I'm not sure if that's a Polish or not, but there's some Polish in there. And on the other side, of course, we've got our third batch of meat birds. They're growing really nicely. We haven't lost very many of those. And then all the way out in the back of the field, in those two broiler boxes, there's two batches. One's a batch of, I think, 40 that we just moved out, and there's 70 out in the far, or actually in the one that's closest to us, I believe. They're doing nice. First processing day is May 19th. So hopefully stay tuned. We'll see if I can get this processing area up and running in the next couple weeks. Big chickens like to hang out here with the meat birds. They scratch it up after we move the tractors in the morning. Kind of spread it all out, which is nice. What was that all about? Well, these guys are doing great, coming up to size. Definitely sucking down the food and the water. Why are you guys all hanging out here? You got that whole tractor and you're all clustered in the front. There's somewhere around probably 65, I think, in here. It started out with 70 something. We have lost a few. We are sold out of chicken though, so as soon as we get these processed, we'll be selling chicken again, which is a big part of our little business here. This is the bigger batch of birds. This one over here, we just moved out yesterday. These are close to 4 weeks old now. There's 40 in there. We also picked up 2 more chicken tractors. So now we have, let's see, 7 total. We won't be running those this year, but I'm trying to plan ahead so we can increase our numbers maybe for next year. I was hoping to do it for this year, but got some things that have happened that prevented us from expanding that this year. The idea was to run a few more tractors, grow them out, and send them out for processing instead of doing it on farm like we've been doing. But maybe that'll be something for next year. What are you guys after? Chickens are kind of disgusting. They're picking through the meat bird poop, eating all the, I guess, undigested food. That's a cream leg bar. We've got quite a variety of hens out here. We've got some blue Australorps, some black Australorps, some black sex links or red stars. I don't remember what they call them. That's the one with the red stripes on her neck. We've got Wellsummers, we've got Easter eggers, Aracanas, Americanas, Buff Orpingtons, Barred Rocks. There's about 200 adults out in this field. That's a Jersey Giant coming up to the tractor. It looks kind of like a meat bird. It's actually a dual purpose bird. We've got amber lynx. There's some amber lynx over there. They're the white ones. Stop squabbling. This one here, the big one, is a Brahma. It's our only one left. She's in pretty rough shape. She's getting older. Rhode Island Red. They get their fair share of food scraps, which they're always excited about. The little pullets we have on a separate little fence here. There's not a blade of grass to be seen in this area, and we're trying to change that with the building of our mobile chicken coop, which is another project that I'll be doing after I finish the processing area. These little guys, they like to hang out under the coop. But there's about 75 in there. They're all inside too. The big coop is kind of the centralized spot. They hang out there when it's hot, and it's hot today. So this coop is full of birds. And it's noisy in here. Got these guys all up, causing a commotion. All the nesting boxes are full. I'm getting about 7 dozen eggs a day. This room's full. Why don't you guys go outside? It's nice out today. This is our hay wagon donor, which is going to be the mobile coop. Got stacks of lumber over there for both the projects, the processing area and the hay wagon. As soon as I get some time to get back on it, which is probably tomorrow. But this is a day off. This is what a day off looks like. But I'm gonna go plant some strawberries. I'll get back over there and get these strawberries in the ground. They're soaking in water right now. Looks like there are still a few strawberry plants in here, but I'm not gonna try to save them. These are 4 years old at this point. Dirt's nice and soft, so I'm gonna try to get some of these weeds out before I put the barrier down. I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the ripping and tearing, but the bees are after the dandelions. There's plenty of dandelions though, so they can find them somewhere else. And I do have some asparagus coming up here too. I gotta be careful of that. There's an eagle circling up there. I just looked up and saw it. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but bald eagle. Probably looking for chicken dinner. I think it disappeared into the trees. Got a lot of the big weeds out. Now I'm hoping that I've got enough of them out that I can get this weed barrier down. It's a 3-foot wide weed barrier. Get it nice and tight. Then I'm going to burn holes in it with my torch. Everywhere I want to plant, I'm going to burn a little hole. Try to keep it as tight as possible, because the weeds will grow right up through that. The ground is nice and soft here. This is a really fertile field, so strawberries have always done well here. Strawberry shortcake is the #1 thing for me in the summertime. I really like it. I've always had it on my birthday's in June. My mom always used to make it for me. Mom, if you're watching, leave a comment. And hi. My mom always watches my videos. Ideally, I would let this sit for a couple weeks before I plant, just to kill all the weeds underneath it. Got about 100 strawberries that are going to be going in, probably a few less than that. We did sell some. Somebody else wanted some, and we tagged them onto our order, but I think probably got at least 80, I think. I'll do double rows and stagger them. Go grab a torch and we'll get going. Try not to sit on a bee while I'm doing this. The bees are really liking these dandelions. Not just my bees either. All sorts of little bees, I don't even know what they are. Little tiny ones, big ones, bumblebees. I wish it could be warm and sunny and green all the time. Really my favorite time of year, and it goes by way too quickly, especially being as busy as we've been. Nice just to take a day and do some stuff that needs to be doing that I enjoy doing, and try to get some joy out of it again. Get so sucked up in the getting the work done here that we lose track of well, it's not enjoyable anymore after a while. I'm just going to loosen up a spot in there. Where I can get this roots, and done videos on tools before. This is my Heroku soil knife. Every time I do anything like this, work in the greenhouse, this is always around. There's a link to this in the video description. Just a great tool for about 20 bucks, and it definitely beats a trowel. It's got a serrated edge. You can saw through roots. You can cut bags open with it. It's got a depth gauge on it if you use it. I never use that, but just a general all-purpose tool that's great for gardening. So I'm just going to burn little holes like this, and then I've got my strawberry plants that have been soaking here. I'm going to get soaked. I think they're in bundles of 25. They're all bare root. I'll probably grab a pair of scissors to trim the roots up a little bit. These guys are called strawberry crowns. They're just, you can see where there was a runner and it rooted, and then they harvested it for sale. I usually do trim a little bit off the roots, and then we'll just pop that in there. Kind of like that. You just don't want to bury the crown when you do strawberries. Just go kind of up to the base. You want to cover the roots, but you don't want to bring dirt way up on the stem. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to stagger these. Pop these guys right in the hole. It's actually another strawberry plant right there that'll probably grow into it, but that's the idea. I'm going to continue this right on down the line. Put these back in the bucket where they can stay damp. The reason I'm burning the edges is this stuff, if you cut it, this stuff frays like crazy. It's kind of like a nylon rope. So if you burn a hole in it, and you can burn nice neat little holes if you take an old coffee can or some sort of tin can, cut the bottom out of it. You could certainly do it that way. I've seen people do it like that. Whatever that is, oh, that's an old strawberry plant right there. What's left of it, dead. And now that we've got water close by, I can run a hose easily to this. Last year, we had a really dry summer, and it really did not help this strawberry bed situation. I know, I'll bring you scratch grain in a minute. Chickens They're so impatient. They see me out here and they know that I always like to bring them treats, so. That's 40 planted so far. I'm gonna get into another bundle of 20 and then work my way back down the other edge. I might start up on that end though. Ground's a little better up there. So if I run out of strawberries, I'd rather not have them here. Actually, there must be bundles of 25 because I'm thinking I have 75 total. My last bundle. So maybe I won't get as far as I was hoping. But either way, we can get another variety and maybe plant on that other side. This variety is called Wendy. It's a June-bearing strawberry. It's supposed to do good in this area. We bought these from a local plant sale that the county does every year. We usually get a bunch of plants when they run their sale because they're cheap. And had pretty good luck with them. I was getting a flat of strawberries a day out of this patch on the previous ones. And I had a mix of June bearing and I also had ever bearing, which actually I think tasted maybe a little bit better. But the June bearing are the traditional crop that you get in June, which is why it's my birthday cake, strawberry shortcake. This is nice, just being able to take a day and do some of this stuff that I enjoy doing without having to rush. I'll get a soaker hose on this and get these guys saturated really good. This feels like it might start to rain. The wind has really picked up. Might not need to water them.
So he grew up.
It's fucking
farm
sick.
country. Every time I go over there, I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks.
It is awful.
Smells like home.
Smoking hot. Just cooking. And you just hoping like hell that somebody comes and tills that shit in.
Yeah, they usually let it sit for a while though.
Yeah, they do.
So we let this go
Make the whole
last
neighborhood.
year.
I hope this works.
We're starting off with
I hope it works
Yeah,
because
starting our
I'm not
Ocean
able
Dance
to.
thing.
I'm not able to get them in. I mean, I'm getting them in, but it's,
yeah.
yeah, this
That's
is
badass. See, I want
4
to have
years.
food growing.
Yeah, but you got to be able to weed it. That's the problem.
Well, I want to throw together some raised beds with that leftover. That's a good way to do that shit.
yeah. It
Yeah.
keeps them from fraying.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's our blueberries. They're
That's
not
something.
doing spectacular. It doesn't.
There's one that's doing good. The rest are kind of crappy.
Yeah, that one's doing okay.
Yeah, I even see some little buds, right?
Those ones aren't doing shit.
Yeah, there's
How long have they been in?
4 years, I think. That one right there is kind of toast. I don't know what's going on with that one.
That's the green down below. You're supposed to burn them in the fall or late winter.
I have no idea. I'm out of, this is the last of the strawberries. I'm not going to have enough to do the other side.
That's a nice row of strawberries. Yeah. There's nothing.
We won't get anything out of them this year. But
But when they throw babies out, you can find more.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not, they're not going to want to root.
Started.
They're not going to be able to root into this stuff though. The runner?
Oh, I see.
The runner usually goes out and then it roots
yeah,
in,
but
then
they'll
you
go
snip
until
it.
they can find dirt.
Because
They
this,
will, and then you just pull it off, right?
Yeah.
And then you can
So this is
plug
a-
it in.
that's a runner
Uh-huh.
that was attached to the mother plant,
Yep.
and it sends out these spiders and they drop roots and then they pull them up.
Yeah, it'll probably just run over to that section.
Yeah.
Like she said.
Are you
First,
gonna throw wood chips down in the middle again?
yeah, probably. I'll throw some cardboard or something down again.
I don't know. I totally think that trying to weed the whole area
Yeah, it
is
sucks.
like
Well, there's the whole gardening movement of not weeding.
right. I feel
And
like
no-till
that's
gardening.
the way to do it actually. And
You're
if you can just
disrupting-
black it out long enough, right? And then if you even if you put dirt on top of that thing and then eventually just pull it back out, right?
Yeah.
After it's really done. It's
Right.
you know,
So they
duty.
Hopefully the wind
they
doesn't
say
get
that
under it.
the no-till gardening, you're just when you grow to till, you're disrupting the symbiotic relationship with the dirt and all the shit in there. So
Yep.
it's good for you.
Yes, they are.
Got the last two left here. Didn't make it as far as I was hoping, but I'll get another variety or something and plant the rest of these. But for right now, I'm just going to grab the soaker hose, get that strung back out on top here, and really soak these things really good. Leave it running for a while. It's so nice having water at the chicken coop, which is right behind the camera. Makes things so much easier now. It's gonna be easier for mowing. I don't have hoses strung everywhere. There's about 200 feet of water line, give or take, maybe 215 or so. And it was definitely a bigger project than I thought it would be. I'll put some clips in of when we dug that, but yeah, we're pretty excited. We're finally getting some infrastructure in place here that will help us, and it won't be so hard to do everything. We've been operating just the two of us. It's still just the two of us, but we work 7 days a week, and luckily we really enjoy what we do. I gotta say though, we are getting tired this year. We're expanding, trying to take on more. We ordered more plugs and planted more seeds than we ever have before. The greenhouse is jammed full. With the price of gas, we gotta kind of worry that people might not want to spend money, because gas up here is about $4.60 a gallon right now. I know it's probably a lot more in other parts of the country, but it's gone up 75 cents in the last 2 weeks. So it's a little bit scary for people spending money, but luckily as far as the plant sales go, people seem to still spend that money even when things are tight, because people want to have a garden, they want to have some nice things around. It makes people feel better. Definitely makes us feel better having things look good. And so yeah, we'll be opening up on Friday. Got a lot to do between now and then. I'm not going to think about that though, and I'm just going to keep enjoying my day off. Be nice to get a little more dirt in around some of these. There. All right, get that soaker hose run and move on to planting some apple trees. And we'll give the chickens some scratch grain. They're yelling behind the camera. I think we're ready to let it rip. And it's working, so we'll just leave this running for a little bit. Get down there and pop a couple apple trees in, add them to the 2 I did last year. First, let's go give these squawky chickens some scratch grain. Our chickens sometimes come to a whistle, so I'm gonna do some whistling. They know what's up. See if I can get over the fence. Luckily it's off, so. Come on, chickens. Definitely not all of them out here. Oh, here they come. Come on, scratch grain. To make sure I save a little bit to give the pullets. Come on, you lazy chickens. The rest is for the pullets. They're still coming out. A little cluster. It's probably not even half of the ones that are in there, but and there's the oddball few adult hens that have hopped the fence in there, and Mr. OG rooster, one eye, one spur. He's the old boy. They're picking on him pretty heavy these days. He's not the dominant one anymore, so I just let him stay in there. Chickens don't like the wind very much. Kind of blows their skirt right up. Alright, on to the next thing. Now before I do anything else, it's about lunchtime, so I'm going to whip up some sandwiches. Heather's got a friend helping her in the greenhouse. I'm going to make some breakfast sandwiches with our eggs and some locally made bread, sourdough that we get and sell in the store. And I'm going to bring them a couple sandwiches. When I do breakfast sandwiches like this, I do everything in one pan, starting with the bread. And we've got some homemade butter that Heather makes, which is going in to start. Nothing better than bread toasted in homemade butter. This butter, you could eat almost like cheese. It's so good. It's made with a farm called Miller Farm. It's their heavy cream that she uses to make this. Bread is super good, especially as toast. I always like to just eat the end slice with a little bit of butter on it, so I'll save that for me. Our eggs, there's a reason why our eggs always sell out. These pasture raised eggs, I'm sure if you're watching this channel you know all about them. They're just really good and flavorful. For a breakfast sandwich, I like to break up the yolk. I like runny eggs if I'm just eating eggs by themselves, but on a sandwich I don't like it running all over me. Just gonna crisp these up for a second. I'll get them wrapped in foil, deliver them up to the girls up at the greenhouse, and get on to something else. This looks delicious. It's almost too thick to eat. That is so good though. I can't wait. Well, I'm gonna get these sandwiches wrapped up and take them up to the greenhouse, and then get back here and we'll dig some holes and plant some apple trees. There, now that lunch is out of the way, I got to dig a few holes here. I've got 2 apple trees, one McCowan, and can't remember the name of the other one. But anyway, I've got a northern spy here and a Honeycrisp. The Honeycrisp is doing awesome, nice and sturdy. I do have them cabled up with some wire just to hold them steady so they could take root. This is the northern spy. It's leafing out, but it's a little slower than the other one. I'll have to prune these at some point, probably this year. I don't know a whole lot about apple trees, so I'll have to do some research and figure out how to trim them up. But that's my small orchard, 2 trees. I'm gonna space these out, probably about that same distance apart, and dig a couple holes. Eventually we're gonna have a fence, a picket fence going around the backside where our apartment is, just to give us some privacy. So I'm just trying to not interfere with that, and just kind of have a small orchard here, up to my old Springer Spaniel's grave. He's buried right there, so I want to do something pretty with the fence eventually. Maybe plant a rose bush. We're going to do a bunch of perennials around it. But anyway, apple trees, just going to dig a couple holes, get some compost, and get these things in the ground. I'm going to start by taking out a big chunk of sod. Because I want to put some bark mulch around these. I don't want the sod growing up through it. Soil is not great right in this spot. I'm going to add a little bit of compost to the bottom of the hole. These are my 2 apple trees. Like, this is how they come. This is a county plant sale, not-for-profit thing. There's 2 of them here. They do come bare root. It's the first time I've looked at them. Got plenty of water in the bag, so that's good. Looks like they coat them with some sort of water retention. So my hole will be plenty deep. This is the McCowan. It looks like it's a pretty sturdy tree. The other one is a Royal Court, which I think is a hybrid. Some really good compost. I'm just probably gonna pull that tree back out of there, but I'm gonna mix it up a little bit in the hole. Set that aside for a minute. I'll get the tree set at the right level. Again, you don't want to bury it past the graft. Key is going to be to get water on them right away. There's one. Get these watered really well after I get the next one planted. It's always been a dream of mine to have an orchard with fruit trees. There. Not bad. Let's get my mess cleaned up and move on to doing something else. Maybe the bees. Yeah, I think the bees might be a good one to do next, as long as it's not too windy up there. When you first water a tree, or first plant a tree, you got to stay on top of watering it every day because you do not want it to dry out. Those roots have got to wake up and take hold, and they need to be damp to do that. So it's really important to really water them really good. Before I do anything else, I just need to take the dogs out real quick. I'm pretty excited for the bees. I haven't really had a chance to do much at all. I cracked them open once. I didn't really do a full inspection, so feels like it's going to be a good day. It's a little on the breezy side, but get these guys out. Oak or Hazel. Say hi. Go do your business. Anyway, pretty excited to get into those beehives. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that, so it's going to be enjoyable for me. Just got to go over here to the shed and load up some of my bee equipment in the tractor, and then head on up there. Get the smoker going. That'll stay there. One more piece of equipment that I wanted just in case I needed to do a split, and that's a double screen board, so it took me a second to find it in there. Let's head on up. Well, unfortunately for me, it's too windy to inspect today. I was really hoping to, but got down here. The wind is really gusting. I just closed the sides on the greenhouse because I was worried about that. It was blowing so hard. So I'm not going to do any more than just look at the bees today. There's bees going in and out of this one, which I think is probably the weakest colony. I don't see any pollen going in, so that's a little concerning. There's a lot of pollen going into the giant hive here that's jamming the honey super with dandelion honey right now. And that one's dead. They're getting a little angry at me, so I better get out of the way. But this small hive is, boy, he's really after me. Well, that was close. He really ran me off. I'm gonna get in here and just get a good look at these guys. The one on the left here with the green box, green deep. That's my original queen. This appears to be healthy, although maybe on the small side. The next one, the small one's dead. There are bees going in and out of it because I think they're robbing it out. I haven't had a chance to get in there and clean it up yet. The biggest one is that second one from the right. And then there's another split, the last one I did in the fall, which appears to still be alive as well. So I'm pretty excited. Once I can eventually get in there and take a look. Kind of sucks that today's windy, but I'll do it another day, and I'll bring you guys along for that as well. I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to go sit down for a little while, just kind of enjoy the sunshine. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Consider leaving a comment. Subscribe to our page, and have a great day.